Guys, it's Francine Simone, and I wanted to come on here and have a chat about some of y'all's behavior, specifically non-Black people, because it's a bit appalling. Now, that being said, I do understand where this behavior comes from, so I want to clear up some stuff. It's been very interesting for me as a Black person to see what's going on in the world and my progressive 2020 non-Black friends' response. What's going on in the world that everybody is seeing isn't something that's new to me. This is something that I grew up with. This is something that you were inundated with as a Black child. The history that we have to be taught at home because it is not talked about in schools. For instance, when you see people using MLK speeches to talk about peace and peaceful protest, most of the times people do not talk about the violence that occurred after that protest. And that is why things changed. Not because MLK marched peacefully onto, and gave his grand speech. It was because after people watched that, they sat at home and watched those people be murdered. And they were like, this is disgusting. So it's always been violence. But that is not what I actually come on here to talk about. I'm not here to give history lessons. I'm not here to educate people on how to be better fucking people. Because at the end of the day, if I had to learn how myself to be a better person, to be someone who can stand up for myself, someone who can stand up with others in other instances of discrimination and oppression that has nothing to fucking do with me, so can you. And we're going to talk about that. So I understand that as someone who is on social media and uses social media for my work and my life for the most part, I have a different view of how these things work. And actually a conversation with someone who I've known previously, she had no idea why her voice or how her voice mattered when she just makes posts on Facebook in and out of her ass about things that she clearly hasn't given a lot of thought to. It's always very interesting to me because people do not realize that Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all of those things are the new town hall. Your voice matters more than what you fucking do. No one sees what you fucking do. We are in the age where nobody goddamn leaves their motherfucking house. And I'm talking about before fucking COVID came in and put a stop to all of our fucking movements. We live online. We live over our phones. When's the last fucking time you had a conversation with somebody that you didn't result to text message first for? When? How long was that conversation? And even then, that is still using your voice. When is the last time you actually hung out with another person or groups of people in order to fucking do things and left your house? In times like this, I think people who are influencers understand our reach, hence the word fucking influencer. I know nobody likes that word, but it is the fucking truth. That's why every time your faith posts something or wears something or goes somewhere online, you're up there doing the same goddamn thing. That's why your vacation itinerary is based off of some bitch taking pictures in Hawaii. That's where you get your new information from. That's because it's more easier to look at what other people are doing, what influencers are showing you over social media, than to Google. Because if people Googled, we wouldn't be in the state of the world that we are in today. I wouldn't have people emailing me on days like today where I'm watching people being brutally beaten, blinded, children being pepper sprayed, people being dragged out of their fucking cars for no goddamn reason other than the fact that they were born motherfucking Black. Emailing me today to ask me to curate a list of book about racism, bitch, you do it. And if you need me to do it, you need me to do a quick turnaround by fucking Thursday to curate some goddamn list that you can't put together or might be too goddamn scared to put together because you've never read any of these fucking books. That's the goddamn problem. So we're going to talk about that, about how a lot of my non-white friends are literally not even wanting to speak on things because they're uncomfortable with politics or they use social media as an escape for fucking reality. I want to discuss this. Those of you who don't like fucking being political, why is it that me being Black has to be a political statement? Why is don't kill Black people in the street for being non-violent a controversial fucking political statement? That's the question you should be asking yourself. It's disgusting to say the least. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why is my life political and why do you get to opt out of it when you're my motherfucking friend? So my thing is, I understand that people don't know how social media works, so I'm going to talk about it now. When you post something on social media, generally the people who are going to see it are the people who engage with your content, being your fucking post. If me, a black woman who speaks out advocaatly about inclusion and diversity and all of the fucking issues that we're having, post, let's say, many and a plethora of things about what is happening today, the only people who are going to see that are people who already fucking agree with me, because the people who generally are uncomfortable by the conversations that I have steer the fuck clear, because I make them uncomfortable. But you, being someone who's a little less uncomfortable with me, or sometimes you like my content, or you like X, Y, and Z, and you generally believe you're not racist, and you genuinely believe that you would stand up with me if it all came down to it, if you don't share those things to your crazy fucking racist friends, to your casually racist friends, if you can't have a conversation with your friends without having to stop because it's uncomfortable, or if you can't have these types of conversations and be comfortable sharing these things is a key that you're uncomfortable with these conversations, that's a fucking problem. Do we not see? You are literally laying the groundwork for anyone who is legitimately, psychotically, and fundamentally fucked up and racist to keep their agenda on the line. You're literally saying that every time somebody skews a story, every time the media decides to tell you one thing or the other because, well, goddamn, Trump's got his boot on their fucking neck, that every time you choose to let that go and not get into it, not talk about it, not say anything, or not share something that's different from somebody who you supposedly trust, supposedly care about, supposedly, would march right alongside me if only, then all you're doing is stepping aside so those people can lynch me next. That's it, and that's all I'm saying about it. So the key here is that when I share things, only the people who already agree with me are going to hear them. When you share things that you know that you aren't seeing, that you know people are a little uncomfortable to talk about in your life, you are opening them up to have to talk about different things. You're opening them up to have to see a different side. The problem is we're so used to seeing foreign issues happen overseas because, especially if you're like me, you were born in the time of war. I don't think I've ever known when we're not at fucking war. So you're used to desensitizing yourself from it. You're used to saying, well, that's happening in a different country, to a different culture, to a different people. But bitch, now it's happening to someone that you consider a friend, or someone that you consider, someone you like to follow, and someone that you like to engage with. That's what's happening on the streets in your motherfucking neighborhoods. And next, when it comes for you, don't ask me to stand up and stand with you. I don't stand for bitches who don't speak with their full motherfucking chest. And I'm just letting you know that now. I only stand with people who can stand for themselves and in honesty. And if I don't see that from you, you're not going to see me. So I just wanted to clarify why it is so important to share things and not hide away in a goddamn ivory fucking tower and talk about how you come here for an escape from reality, because this is my fucking reality. Black trauma is my entire life. You seeing people loot and riot and it scares you momentarily is the fear that I've had to live with ever since I was inundated as a child with having to learn how to walk in the world as a black woman. So excuse me if I could give two fucks about how uncomfortable you are. And with all that being said, God bless. Hope y'all the best day of your life. I'm going to a candlelight vigil later on, which people will be there with their Confederate flags. And because it's an open carry state, people have already had their guns out. Somebody has already shot into a crowd in my state. So peace out. Hope you see me soon, and we'll talk later. Bye.